Welcome back, everybody. We are back with the Pixelar Easy Graphics training. This is video 3. In this video we are going to create a Facebook timeline, okay? And we're going to do that using a template that I'm providing for you, okay? So the measurements are already the proper measurements for you to create the timeline. First thing you need to do is go over to pixelar.com, punch that in and get there. Then go to Open Pixelar Editor Advanced on top and click on that. So right here we're going to open an image from my computer. We're going to open the template that I'm providing you with for the timeline, and I'm going to find it where I have it located in a file here, and you'll have it in your file. So you can, wherever you have it located, you go get it and click on it and open it. Now Pixelar has opened that file. And let me move these tools over so you guys can see them inside the video. Make sure everything's visible. Now that I have the template open, I'm ready to start. Previously, before this, I went and downloaded a free image that I'm going to use for this background. I googled free header images, and there was a list of websites that provide you with free header images. So I selected one that was proper for this tutorial, and I'm going to use it. You guys feel free. You can there's tons of them online. Just Google that, and they're good starters. You can add graphics to over the top of them and get creative with them, but they're definitely good starters, especially free, and there's a lot of good images on there that you don't have to pay for. Okay. Now this template here has this area that says profile image. That's where your profile image in Facebook is going to go, so you don't want to put anything important underneath that. Okay, keep all your important stuff over here in this area. Also keep in mind that Facebook has regulations on what you can put on your timeline. They don't want a big giant billboard here with phone numbers and things like that on it. What you want is something related to the niche or business that you're representing. So if it's a plumber, you can put an image of plumbing going on and just put your name, and that's fine. But they don't want phone numbers and website things, URLs and things like that plastered all over it, because there's a good chance you can get regulated that it's just too much advertisement. They don't want that on there. But always check Facebook. At the time you're learning this tutorial, the rules may have changed. So that's the thing. Is that you always got to be aware of what they allow and what they don't allow. So last thing you want, it's better to be safe than sorry. Last thing you want is your client's timeline being cut out by Facebook because it's too much of a billboard. Okay, so let's get started. What I'm going to do to find my image and paste it on here is I'm going to come over to File, Open Image, and the image I need is on my desktop. So I'm going to locate my desktop here. And here is the free image that I found online, and I open it up. So this is in a new window. So what I need to do is go up to File, Edit, Select All, so then it selects the entire image that I want. Now I'm going to press, now listen to this, Control C, which is copy, and you can see the word copy there. Now I'm going to click over to my background here, my template, and I'm going to press Control V, which is paste. So it takes a copy of it and pastes it right on to my template there. Alright, and you can see it's on a new layer. So I'm going to change the name of that layer to BG. That's what it's a quick little abbreviation for background there. So I'll put BG, so I know that's my layer, and I can deal with my background here. What I need to do is make it bigger, so I'm going to transform this image. This image over here I can now close. Do I want to save? No. Okay, so I'm going to deal with this now. So I'm going to Edit, Free Transform, and I can grab a corner and go from corner to corner there, or I can even go bigger if I want the dollars to be really bigger, and go even off screen type of thing there if you need to. Okay, just keep in mind where your boundaries are. Okay, you could see them there. So just play around with the sizes you want, whatever you feel comfortable. Alright, like I said, you can make this even bigger, stretch out the dollars there, And then when you're done, click on the move tool and it'll ask you, do you want to apply? Put yes. Okay, so now I can no longer see where that area is where my image is going to be, but if you need to, just click this arrow off and you can take a look and make sure nothing important is in that area. That kind of helps. Okay, so this background here is set. I want to add, I downloaded an arrow, a PNG file arrow that I want pointing to my image, my profile image. So I'm going to open that now. File, open image. I believe it's on my desktop. So here it is. It's this green arrow, looks like it's pencil drawn. And that's a PNG file. So I'm going to open that. Here it is. So hopefully, let's see if it lets me click and drag. May work. No, that didn't work. Let's see here. Where did it go? There it is. Let me try the same thing. I'm going to go to Edit, select all, Control C, which is copy. Yeah, that should do it. Click back on this layer here, this open window here, Control V, and there it is. Okay, easy as that. It's just a matter of Control C is copy, Control V is paste. So let's close this window. No, I don't want to save. And it's a PNG file, so it doesn't have, the background is already removed. If you need to know how to remove all the white area around it, the previous tutorial, tutorial 1 and 2, the header tutorial and the add banner tutorial, those tutorials show you how to remove the white area from an image. Okay, so I'm going to move this green arrow over to where my profile pic's going to be, and let me turn this off, and you can see it's pointing right to it. So I can put that there. So that's kind of neat. And let me put that back on there. So you know my image will be there, so it'll be the green arrow pointing to my image. Alright. So now, right above where the arrow ends, that's the top of the profile. So I want to keep my text up here. So let me turn that back on. I'm going to lay some text right in here. And I can make the color a green color also. Maybe money green again. We'll go with, stick with that green. We can even go, you know what, let's go super light, like a lime green. And I'll show you where we're going to, it's going to look ugly at first, but then we're going to fix that. And let's put, this is just an example. Let's put Phil the Money Man. Alright. And we can make that text bigger. Maybe that's my name in my business or something. Maybe I do loans or something like that. Okay. And then let's change the font. And I can hover over. That's a neat looking font there already. I can keep going. There's so many of these fonts here. Let me scroll down. Let's see. I saw something neat. Oh, that one's kind of cool. Alright, let's stick with that one there. Magneto. Feel the Money Man. And regular, or maybe bold. Doesn't make that much of a difference, I tell you. Be bold. Okay. So let me take my move tool. I'm going to move that over, maybe right there. Okay, so now on my layer that has my text, I'm going to click this area here, this layer style, open that up, and I'm going to play around with, there's the drop shadow, there's the inner shadow, bevel, outer glow, and inner glow. Okay, let's mess with inner glow. Let's change the color to something like, oh, maybe almost black, and we'll mess with that, the size of it. Ooh, that looks neat there. The hardness, the opacity, you can get lighter and darker. Alright, I'm kind of liking that there. Now I think I might go for a drop shadow or an outer glow. So let's try drop shadow. The drop shadow is a little bit far. It's a little bit distracting. So the distance, I can bring it in a little bit closer. Now it looks like it's popping off the screen there. Fill the Money Man. The size, I can fuzz it out if you want, and that still looks good. Or I'll bring it in a little tighter. Okay, I'm liking that. Now bevel, let's go to bevel. The size is a little big. You can go, let's see here. So it gives it a little outer shine, and then this distance kind of changes the distance of the light source that's shining the light on it. Okay, so you could just put just a tad of light on top maybe. And it may not need it at all if you don't think so. See the highlight? You can dim the light a little bit on there. Just a hint. That adds to it. Outer glow. We don't want to mess with that because that ruins our drop shadow. And then put OK. So I like the way that looks, and it's pretty quick and easy. See how quick and easy you can do these kinds of things. Everything is out of the way of my profile image. If I wanted to add a graphic, like maybe a line or something, or I got the arrow here. Oh, here's another thing I can show you. Let's go to, this is here. Let me change the name of this to arrow to keep everything neat. I got my background, arrow, and then there's my text. Okay, now I'm on the arrow layer here. I can turn it off and on. Let me go over to edit, free transform, and I'm going to take a corner of it and point the arrow at an angle like that, because I just got an idea here, and I can make it bigger. And now I'm going to move it this way. Since the money's coming this direction, let's keep everything this. So they're going to read my name here. We're going to bounce off this money and go right down to my image here. Okay. So we click on that move tool there and put yes. So now let me click this off, and you could see it's pointing right. I can adjust it a little bit, maybe even there. Pointing right to me. Okay. So fill the money man, the arrow's pointing right there. It's all about money, and that's a nice simple timeline. Okay, it's not too crowded, not too overdone, but yeah, I mean, you can go on and on. You can change the background image. You can add more graphics to this if you want, using these different shapes. Select an area or different shapes, and here we'll get to these other little elements here in further tutorials. Okay. In comparison to Photoshop, every tool I used here is very similar. As far as the move tool goes, the free transform, everything is pretty much in the same place. As far as opening a new image and then copying and pasting it and bringing it over, Photoshop does that exact same thing. So if you're trying to do this project in Photoshop, it would be identical. It would be pretty much identical. The layers would be over here. And here's a history palette. Okay, I haven't explained the history palette yet. What the history palette is the history of all the graphics that you've built so far. So, like, if you think you made a mistake and you'd like to go back, you can just click back to the history of what you built. Okay, and if you want to go back to where you've changed your mind and say, hey, I like the way I had it before, and then you just click right back to it. Okay, so don't worry, there's always an out. If you make a mistake, you can always go back. The history palette is one of the best things they've ever invented for these graphic programs. Okay, at this point here, we're ready to save. File, save, and we're going to save it. First, I always save it as a layered pixel art image. Maintains all my layers, so if I ever need to come back and make changes for my clients, it's no problem. I already have it built. They think that I took hours rebuilding this when I've kept the file all along, and I can always go back and make changes, and it took me 5 minutes and they paid me a second time. Okay, so timeline template, I want to change it because it's no longer, I don't want to save it as my template. I'm going to put Moneyman timeline, and then I'll save that to my desktop. Okay, now I'm also going to save it again, but this time I'm going to save it as a JPEG, and 80% quality is good. Okay, Moneyman Timeline, same name. It's just going to save it as a JPEG to my desktop, and I put save. Okay, so we're good there. Let me minimize this down. Here it is. I'm going to double click on it so you can see it. And there it is. Phil the Money Man. What a neat looking timeline. Okay, so there we go. It's that easy. You probably didn't think it was that easy when you first started these tutorials, but it really is. So you're getting the idea by this point. 3 projects into this training system, you're kind of getting your feet wet and you're getting the hang of this. So a lot of it's going to be repetitive. So when you get to the last few tutorials, it should be moving a little bit faster for you. Okay. See you in the next tutorials, guys. Take care. Hope you enjoyed this.